Hey folks, welcome to Thursday, the 23rd of September 2021. And we've woken up to yet another Teflon day. Last night, Jerome Powell really not giving us the guidance that we were looking for in terms of timing around tightening and the dot plots shifting a little bit more towards the 2022 first rate hike, which we are going to get. Um, but by and large, net, these markets have all the more reason to keep going up. The Fed is not worried at the moment about inflation. They are continuing to monitor, and the tone, both from the statement and from the speech, was dovish all the way. And therefore, up we go on equities. So coming into the session, we have DAX up 0.72%. SPOOs up 0.5%, Dow up 0.57% as well. T-notes down about 0.1%. And the dollar has really worked an entire range from a low to a high and back again since. So I think equities are kind of taking a little bit of a breather now in what has been a pretty nice run back to the upside. So let's go over and look at these charts real quick. So my face is actually blocking these bonds, but what we can see here, really looking at the dollar yesterday as that sort of risk barometer of the event. We initially took off to the downside and then pushed on back on up. There on the 7 o'clock on the statements, and really unable to sustain the bid above the 93.44s. So back we came pretty much to where we started, pretty much where it all began for the Dixie yesterday. So S1 supportive. Looking out on the daily bar charts here, actually this is weekly bar charts. We'll probably go back down to the daily in a second here. Let me just load that. There you go. So on the dailies, I think this Dixie is trying to get onto higher prices. I was talking about this pullback. Really, I think this Dixie should try and pull back to the 20 EMA. If we hold on this sort of area, this zone up at the top here, I think that's going to be pretty key to noting the strength of the Dixie right now. So 93.19s currently supportive for the Dixie. A couple of key levels to look out for should we break there, the 20 EMAs for support or the 50 EMA. I think, because we have this level of risk off tone in the market now, I think, it's fine. Let this dollar subside, let these equities drift to the upside, as T-notes and these bonds like the Bund are just finding it incredibly hard now to hold on to any of the gains that they've had thus far in the week. Looking specifically into, say, the NASDAQ here on the daily chart, yeah, we had that excursion up to the 20 EMA as of this morning so far. Now, we have talked a little bit about this on the other equities on their EMAs on the upside. So 20 EMA, bit of resistance come in here. I think it would make total sense if we were to come back down, find the support here on the 50 EMA, just coming in, actually, sorry, the 50 EMA is, I think, a little lower, but 15,117s pretty much, and that is that high area there from pretty much the, what are we looking at? We're looking at the in and around the highs of 26th of July and the 27th of July. I might actually firm that up a little bit here now to give us a kind of a hard area. And so, yeah, 15,124s coming into confluence with the 50 EMA. I do like the support that we could get there. I think a sell down from these highs should be largely supported from a fundamental and a technical point of view. And then we're into a trade where we can get back up above the current high of day, either in this session or tomorrow's. So yeah, that's just what I'm looking at on the NASDAQ. The SPOOs, we were talking about this area in the SPOOs earlier on, in that we were seeing that we would simply just trade right back across here. As we had noted in the NASDAQ last night, I put this green arrow on, finding the support there, the 15,124s area. I think we can get boom back up. So similar in the SPOs. If we do test the 43.74s as we did last night, I think you're going to be into a pretty decent long opportunity there. Get the bounce back up above the 20 EMA. But for now, I think the market could easily just firm itself up on this 50 EMA and push on, given that we are trading now above this sort of line in the sand that we've had, that I did talk about in yesterday's pre-US. We have traded across that range over FOMC, and now we're above, right? So pretty simple stuff there from a technical point of view on the SPOs. Certainly warning against this morning buying at this level. And sure enough, now you want to be quick managing that below the R1 on taking profits if you're scalping on the longs. It's really, by and large, not holding up hugely well to the tick at the moment on that level. Let's move along to the Dow. The Dow has worked back into that line in the sand area on the lows, 34,403s. And, you see the excess on the highs into this zone this morning. So a bit of profit taking probably from the lows seen last night on FOMC on the speech. Not a huge amount going on. In fact, if anything, a lot of people getting slaughtered here as the market pulled back quite hard between half 7 and half 8. Before then moving on to target 34,403s. I think if you do get that pullback 33,919s, it was a lovely area yesterday to be looking at. It wasn't hugely supportive on Tuesday. Tuesday here, yeah, it just got totally wiped. So yeah, I think largely we need to push on and get to test 34,775s on the Dow. Probably before the end of this week, actually. So I think any pullbacks in this are going to be supported. It's just how deep will those pullbacks be? I think we've seen the pullbacks last night to the pivot. A lot of excess on the lows on those tests there in this area, 34,066. So I think, maybe a test on the 100 EMA, a retest this morning on the open, could then see us reverse and push into that 50 EMA to put in a new high on the day. Oil, yeah, looking down here on the 60-minute on oil, we were looking at a test here on this green arrow below. And it was short-lived really on the bids before now breaking back down in since I came off the mic at 9 a.m. And so, look, we have resistance here now turned support. So I think a test on the 71.43s will most probably be bought and supported, and then it's just really, can we get back up above this kind of Asia Pac range that we've had? It's kind of like, let's see, it's actually, let me just select this. It's pretty much this area here is the APAC. It's just quite resistant, as you can see. So let's see if we can run in and find some support down here. If we can't hold here and above the S1, then I'd easily be looking at a breakdown to retest at least into the probably, I don't know, maybe it's hard to find, but it should probably test 69.35s and lower. Should we start to get a rundown here and not have any buyers turn up on the session? The DOE yesterday was a softer draw than the API draw had been. So, I think the market's a little bit frothy at these prices, but that's okay. I think there's generally bigger reasons than just a single DOE print as to why oil is bid. All right, just be careful on this dollar picture. It seems to be holding a bid where it is on the 93.19s. I think this euro dollar trade is just really, really difficult. I think there's way easier trades to be had. Cable, before I go, we have the BOE rate decision has come out to as unchanged. And sure enough, we saw the buying coming in off the lows here. Just before I went on my break, I was looking for this to trade a little closer than it did. 36.04s didn't actually trade, and we got the bid over that announcement coming in here on the midday candle. So, you know, up into the R2 and now just taking a bit of heat off the market. You could easily see a bit of a retest here of the 36.93s and then find the bid picked back up again. So do keep a little eye on that one. If you are in the longs, I'd certainly be looking to take a little bit of profit out of the top there at the R2, and then look for a repositioning on the pullback. Yeah, the weekly bars below here. You can see this is quite a significant zone below for cable to trade. So you definitely want to see this thing. If you are a bull, you definitely want to see this area hold and you know, higher highs made today essentially from this area. So that's it for me for today's session. Any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out to me in the Discord chat room, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. All right, have a good session, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.